People requested of me to actually do a tutorial on how to use bools in Figma. So I'm going to showcase how you can actually use bools to make your life a lot easier by making the components you have more flexible without actually using variants, as well as perhaps introducing a new, I know, technique, if you will, that I found that is using the absolute positioning inside these components to actually give you flexibility over using rounded or straight corners. So let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is, in this case, to showcase how these rounded corners work, I'm going to create two frames. First frame and the second frame, both of them are going to be added inside of my component. Now for this to work, I'm going to have to actually remove the background color within the component itself, because I'm going to actually set it up in those components that you're going to, the backgrounds that you're going to later see. So this is going to be my straight corner. Okay, for what we need, we basically have to set it up as being absolute position inside the frame. We're going to move it so that it is basically covering the entire frame, and you're going to see how we can actually make sure that it's stretching out to the whole width and the whole height of the frame. So we're going to set it to scale for both vertical as well as for horizontal. What this is going to do is it's going to ensure that whenever you're stretching out the component, you're scaling it up, the background itself is going to scale with the component. In this case, we're just going to leave it with straight corners because this is the straight corner version, and we're going to duplicate it one more time. I'm going to set it as rounded corner. Okay. In this case, we're going to set up a 8 pixel rounded corner, and we're going to hide it. The straight corner we're going to hide. What we're going to do next is basically just change the color fill to something to ensure that we have visibility over the items that we just seen. And we're going to make sure that all of these things are properly positioned so that the components are actually visible inside this this button. Okay, now for the really cool part. One second, I think there's something wrong here. Yeah, the topology just went to shit. That's the way. Perfect. Inside of the component, we're going to actually set up some bools. So for this one, we're going to add it so that it's going to show straight corner. We're going to set it to false because this is the initial state. And for this one, we're going to set it to create a new property, show corner rounded. We're going to add these two properties for the main component, like you see here. It's going to show up on the properties part. Okay, let's say we also want to make sure that this component wants to have a flexible icon that shows or hides based on your preference. What we can actually do is set up in a similar fashion, just set up a new property and like a bool, and set it to show feather icon or hide feather icon. We're creating the property, all good. So we're going to be ending up with 3 properties that are going to control most of the heavy work here. So as you can probably see, there's absolutely no variance involved. You're just keeping one single component to do all of this through bools. And here's actually a demo of how this could work. So we want to set up the rounded corners. We're going to set it to straight corners, and we're also going to remove the icon itself. So as you can see, absolutely zero variance here. Everything is being done just by using these bools. It's super simple. It's super useful. Sadly, the bools can only be used to change the visibility property of an item, unfortunately, but hopefully that Figma in the future is going to also change this so that we can control more items. So for example, maybe control opacity, not opacity, maybe control like the text to a different type of font, but that would actually require them to change the variance, the variable, so that it's not using bool but something different. So maybe introduce some sort of cool variables, cool new variables, I don't know. I mean, Figma, it's up to them. Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this, and catch you next time. Peace. Bye bye.